He is believed to be the first student to be expelled from the U accused of using AI to cheat. He's not only denying it, he's suing, and people are watching to see what happens. Chris Harapsky breaks down the case that could have widespread implications.
In August 2024, U of M grad student Haishan Yang was on a trip in Morocco, remotely working on his second PhD. The final step before writing his thesis, passing a preliminary exam. He had 8 hours to answer 3 essay questions. The test said he could use notes, reports, and books from class, but explicitly said no artificial intelligence.
What did you think? Do you think you did well?
I think I did perfect. I was very happy.
Weeks later, he'd get an email telling him he failed, accused by the grading professors of using an AI program like ChatGPT. The university held a student conduct review hearing, a small trial of sorts.
Here we lay out the evidence on both sides.
Yang let us review all the information the 4 professors used, all of them concluding they had significant concerns the paper was not written in Yang's voice and involved concepts not covered in class. When the professors entered the exam into ChatGPT and compared those answers to Yang's, they found certain parts matched in both structure and language. They cited these headlines and these bullet points as suspicious. Professor Peter Hugfeld wrote, "I was struck by the similarities between the two that seemed extremely unlikely to be coincidental." In one answer, Yang used the acronym PCO, which stands for Primary Care Organization. Even though Yang contends the acronym shows up in established journals, all 4 professors said none of them in their careers had ever seen that acronym before. Where else does it appear? They say they found it in ChatGPT's answers. And then there's this, an earlier accusation Yang used AI. On a homework assignment he turned in, Professor Susan Mason says one paragraph ended with a note to self that read, quote, "Rewrite it, make it more casual, like a foreign student write, but no AI." In a letter to Community Standards, Mason said she strongly suspected Yang was using AI. Yang admitted he used it to check his English, but denied using it for answers on the assignment. Ultimately, he received a warning from the U.
That was the bulk of evidence used against Yang. Here's his take.
Did you use ChatGPT for the test?
I did not use ChatGPT in the test.
Instead, Yang believes certain professors were out to get him, alleging one professor altered the evidence to make him look guilty.
Do you think that this was a conspiracy amongst the professors against you personally?
My advisor, Brian Dow, certainly believes so, and
What do you believe?
I believe so too.
Why would Yang believe that? About a year before the exam, records show the university cut Yang's financial support after claims of poor performance and disparaging behavior as a research assistant.
And the graduate director told me in person that I should consider to quit.
Yang appealed with support from his advisor, who called the way Yang was being treated by the department an embarrassment. The U apologized and agreed to restore his funding if Yang agreed not to sue. So how does this play into Yang's new dispute over AI? Well, he gives 2 reasons why he believes ChatGPT's answers were similar to his. First, ChatGPT is trained off the same books and reports that he studies from.
What does it mean? It means my answer probably similar to hundreds of thousands, millions of paper ChatGPT absorbed.
Second, he says the exam answers seemed close because he believes one of the professors altered them. Yang discovered differences between the ChatGPT answers submitted at this hearing and the ones originally shared between the professors. Comparing the 2 versions, you can see fonts were changed and some paragraphs omitted. He believes one professor was re-asking ChatGPT, hoping to get a closer match to his answers.
Apparently, you generate 2 ChatGPT answers, and you didn't claim it. So they generate 2 versions, but they only attach 1 version. And then this raises ethical question. They can keep generating, and they generate some version. Oh, wow, it's more similar.
Yang's advisor, Brian Dowd, wrote a letter in Yang's defense calling him, quote, the best read student he'd ever encountered. He called the evidence against Yang inconclusive, and to the panel wrote, quote, in over 4 decades in our division, I never have seen this level of animosity directed at a student. I have no explanation for that animosity.
So how did the U's mini trial end? After listening to all the evidence, the 5-member panel decided unanimously that Yang, more likely than not, cheated. For that, he was expelled from the university, and with it, a cancellation of his student visa, allowing him into the country. In January, Yang filed state and federal lawsuits against one of the professors and others at the university, alleging altered evidence and a lack of due process. Yang says he did use ChatGPT to help him file those lawsuits.
Oh, the irony at the end there. Our thanks to Chris Harapsky. We'll be following that story. Certainly big implications for students, teachers, professors across the state.